Hi, you're sitting here watching a football game, or here watching a football game, or here watching a football game. Or maybe you're playing fantasy, or scouting for the draft, or gambling on football, or watching football videos on YouTube.
Wow,
What?
that's you right now.
How did this happen?
A long time ago, but also never, but also always, but really 1920. American football is lame, especially professional. But a small group of hopeful white guys want to make it not so lame. Right now, the Ohio League is the best there is, but it's
Weird and unstable.
so those few guys gathered in a car showroom in Canton, Ohio, and formed the league we know and love today.
American Professional Football Association.
Wait, that's not it. Give them a couple years, they'll get it. Football fields used to be shaped into grids, thus the nickname gridiron, but we're not gonna do that. Here's what a play of actual football looks like as of our starting point. Helmets, leather's fine, and don't wear one if you don't want to. Passing the ball? No, we don't do that much. Just kinda thrust up the middle. Tackles, oh, it was brutal. Jim Thorpe is an Olympic gold medalist, also a star football player, and a team owner, so let's make him the league's first president. There's 10 groups to start, but only from 4 states. Keep your eye on these two, because they're the only ones that are going to be sticking around for good. New York, Philadelphia, teams were scrapped together wherever they could be. Who wants a large media market when you can have the Dayton Triangles? The owners, they may have belief, but they don't have money, and they don't have fans. Their whole goal is to build structure around professional football, but they lack that very structure themselves. Teams make their own schedules with varying numbers of games played, and if you're scared of everyone else, you can just schedule games against random, independent, traveling football teams. They still count to your record. There are positions, but they don't mean much. Everything is just kinda one big scrum. What about the Super Bowl? Oh, sorry, championship. Oh, nope, not yet. Okay. How do we decide who wins this thing? Well, it's a sport where men violently hit each other chasing around an egg shaped ball. So, how about we get into a room and vote on the winner? That doesn't sound right. Yep, okay, let's do it. Thus, the Akron Pros were the first APFA champions with an undefeated season.
Take that, 72 Dolphins.
But there is this third number. Oh, you scored 0 points in a football game? Yeah, that's pretty normal. And your opponent also scored 0 points? Yup, it happens a lot.
It's a tie.
What an exciting game. If only there was some more time we could have to play after the game was over if it was tied. Who knows? Fast forward a year, oh boy, a lot of teams leave, and a lot of teams join. Let's try that again. Okay, yep, that is every year. Then the APFA changes their name to the NFL, or National Football League. See, they got it. Even this cool new logo. If a team doesn't fold within 2 years, call them a success. It's a fight to stay alive. And not just for the teams, the league is on the fritz too here. They got a new president who's doing good things like making a league constitution full of league rules. Those rules say stuff like don't sign players in college. Players cannot go from team to team at all. And when there's a problem, well, WWMLBD.
What would the MLB do?
Let's take a step back. Not in time, in perspective. Close your eyes. You're a 1920s American, without the racism and stuff. Baseball is the country's biggest sport. It's not even close. The MLB is the beacon. It's everything the NFL aims to become. The organization, the tight knit group with laws everyone knows and follows. Boxing is better than the NFL too, just for your manly violence fix. And if you really want to watch gridiron football, just watch college. It's rising fast in popularity nationwide, and they don't need to get paid like those stingy pros do. College athletes do it for the love of the game. That raises the question, why play professional football? It wasn't the money for sure, but it was a better alternative to some people than manual labor. Things weren't good necessarily, but I mean, they got by. The league didn't fold. That's the main thing here. Suspensions are a thing now. Break those rules we made, you get punished. This dude caught the first one for secretly letting 4 high schoolers play in an NFL game. NFL hasn't really caught on yet, but some players are starting to become household names. You got your Jim Thorpes, your Patty Driscolls, and of course, Red Grange. Legends. Some new league popped up to rival the NFL. Don't worry about it, it happens all the time. Teams start arguing about the championship vote.
No Who saw that coming?
The next season, they finished with a dead tie between 2 teams for first place. They also tied each other both times they played. So we're kind of forced into a playoff game.
Fight!
Wow, that worked. People loved the de facto championship, and that set us up for a real explosion. Now there's hash marks. Players can throw the ball without being 5 yards behind the line. Oh, and split everyone into 2 conferences, and let's make the winners play each other every single year now.
It's the championship era.
Oh yeah, and we moved these big yellow things from the back to the front of the end zone. Ignore the safety risks, we just want more offense. Apparently people don't like 0-0 ties in America, or ties at all in America, or 0 points at all, but they do like championship. Now, on a much darker note, that's a bad joke, you'll get it in a sec. Around this same time, the NFL owners, who were all white men, met and secretly agreed to not sign African American players, unofficially segregating the NFL. Unlike pro football, racism was on the rise, due in large part to this nationwide depression that was so bad they called it great. And while the owners were racist, especially this guy, who actually disliked colored people more than he disliked Native Americans, the silent agreement was also done in hopes the NFL would garner more support from Southern folks, and the rest of America just wouldn't care. But the rest of America? Well, they didn't really care. Everyone was too poor to care. The NFL was struggling too. They were already poor to start, but they just kept playing football, a sign of how the league would handle future catastrophes. Just play through them. Hey, what if we do a yearly game with an NFL team playing against the best team in college? No, the NFL team will kill them. How about an all-star team from college? Okay, yeah, that's fine. If you can't beat them, play against them, because you're much older and more experienced than them. So all the original teams have either folded or changed names. We're losing the founding fathers. You know what? President is kind of boring. Let's call the guy in charge the commissioner. What if we let players choose where they want to play? And if they don't like one team, they can go play for a different team.
That's free agency.
Okay, that works, but now the teams with a lot of money are just getting all the best players. We gotta even out the playing field a little bit.
So they started the draft.
Every year, teams get to pick a player, starting with the worst teams first. Heads up, to start, most guys who are drafted don't ever end up even playing pro football. They choose a more reliable, better paying career, like selling rubber. Hey, there's another rival league starting up. It's just the AFL again, we're fine. We'll take one team though. Alright, usually there's a best player in the league. What if we award him? Just make sure to call him most valuable, not best, so people can get real subjective with it later. Wait, look at your magic box at home if you're rich. You can watch the NFL on TV. Popularity is slowly but steadily rising. Teams realize playing in a small town is just asking to make less money, and most move to growing cities. New York, Pittsburgh, Brooklyn, every team except the Packers shares their city with an MLB franchise. We still hovered around the 10 total teams mark with a revolving door membership. Teams come and go as they please, but something unprecedented started to happen. The teams started making money. Huh? The team started making money. Like a good amount of money. The NFL was profitable. For decades, everyone involved, owners, players, it was purely because they loved football. They were making pocket change, a livable salary if they were lucky. Now, something was cooking. The Packers won 2 championships, but the Bears won 4 in the first 10 years. Is this a dynasty? Eh. Although they did win a championship game 73 to nothing. Hey, there's another rival league starting. It's just the AFL again. We're fine. Quick look at the league. Wait, what? No movement? 3 straight years, we kept the same 10 teams. The structure is coming together. Fans can have favorites without risk of them folding the next year. Teams can develop rivalries, actually playing against each other for years. Real football teams, here to stay. And Pearl Harbor happens. Let's go to war with everyone again. Hundreds of NFL players and coaches are shipped across the planet to fight. We lost a lot of that good momentum we had. The US president demanded that sports keep being played to maintain a sense of normalcy for people. So the NFL battled through the war, just like they did the Great Depression. Then the war ended, and all of a sudden, the NFL is starting to catch up to college football. Some new sports league just formed with dribbling and hoops and hard wooden floors. Okay, good for you guys. The Rams moved to Los Angeles, taking us coast to coast. What happens in this area?
Farms and stuff.
Let's also sign African American players again, because a ton of them kinda just died fighting for our country.
So reintegration happens.
Okay, everyone needs to play the same amount of games, or else it's just all messy. How's 12 a season? I know, it's a lot, but don't worry, we won't add any more. Guys, these leather helmets do not seem very protective. Let's use something else. Plastic lasts a long time. Say no more. Hey, a new rival league popped up? Yeah, it's fine. Our worst team could beat their best team. Okay, actually, it's not fine. They're getting too popular. So let's offer a merger. And by merger, I mean we take some of their teams. Browns, 49ers, Colts, sure. Now there's 13 of us. Keep your eye on this one because they've been dominating this other league. We can merge names too. We're just going to keep all of our stuff. Okay, we're actually not going to merge names, but thanks for the teams, and we'll steal a couple of your best ideas too. Expanding across America became priority. There's more fans out there to be made. Let's go get them. Also, some teams in this new league would take videos of their games, then go back and watch them to see what they did wrong and right. That could be something.
That's film.
And this other league was outwardly anti racist. They treated colored people weird, like they were humans, gave them respect. And they even started realizing African Americans aren't bad football players. I guess we should explore that. In their first season, the brand new Cleveland Browns won the NFL championship. Huh, maybe we weren't so much better than that other league. Get this, now people pay us to televise our championship game. It's awesome. The Lions won 3 in 6 years. Then there was a game so great it might be the greatest ever played. The NFL championship went to overtime. No game had ever gone to overtime. It wasn't a thing. We still just tied a lot. But it's the championship. It can't tie. So I guess first one to score wins? The fans loved this. It was the most popular NFL game yet. A tight contest, a true superstar quarterback, and it featuring a New York based franchise did not hurt. It was all fuel to the quickly growing fire of the league. Then the commissioner died at an NFL game. Don't worry, that's how all these guys want to go. The Giants lost 5 championship games in a 6-year period. There's no rival leagues out right now, except in Canada, so we don't really have to keep raising players' salaries. Hey, wait, we still want more money. Well, what are you gonna do about it? Leave? Go assembly line cars together if you want.
So they made the Players Association.
Now we have an NFLPA. We get workers' rights and stuff. Wait, isn't that just a union?
Kinda basically, yeah.
What if we put cages on these fancy new helmets to block anything from touching your face? And the AFL's back again. Don't worry, they'll be gone soon. This happens. Let's start playing 14 games a year. I know, but that's it. We won't go any higher till someone offers us more money. The US president just got killed in broad daylight, but we still played through it. Washington drafted a black player. That means every team is now integrated. I wonder why they specifically took so long. The Packers are getting really good at football, like better than everyone else. They won 3 Super Bowls in a row, 5 in 7 years. Pro football has started to overtake college football and the MLB in popularity, and they once said it was impossible. It only took 40 years. Now we get a ton of money to put all our games on television, and planes fly us to away games instead of trains training us there. Hey boss, that whole AFL not going away this time. They're actually getting pretty popular. You know what that means. Let's merge with them and take their best stuff. But this one was a bit of a bigger deal. This is the 4th attempt of the AFL to try and carve out their own slice of professional football money. Most of the time they failed spectacularly, but this time, against all odds, it's working because they're doing things like passing the ball a lot and offering the best NFL and college players a bunch of money. Some of them accept the money and leave, and now we're here. So the leagues have a colossal merger. The NFL becomes a 24-team mega league, bigger than the MLB, and with plans to expand bigger. The Broncos, Raiders, Patriots, Texans, and more, teams from all over the place, were made members of the NFL in an instant. To separate things, the older NFL was put into one conference, and the new AFL teams put into another. Now we know the NFL isn't going to change their name for anyone, but the AFL did get a small piece of their league to live on in the conference name. We also, of course, get to steal their good ideas. Throw the ball lots, even more than you run, and way far downfield. It's more exciting. Players' last names on the back of jerseys? Sure, why not? And share revenue from each game between the home and away team? Alright, sounds good. And of course, new playoffs. Multiple playoff games to determine the winner of each conference, and those two teams, the AFC and NFC champions, play in the biggest game of the year.
It's the Super Bowl era.
You thought things were popular before? Oh, well, yeah, it was, but now it's like more. The Packers won the first Super Bowl. Oh, and the second. They actually weren't called the Super Bowl yet. They got the names retroactively. But then an AFL team won it all.
No
What?
way.
Another league having better teams than the NFL? That's never happened before. The Dolphins went undefeated with no ties. No one's ever done that before or since. Overtime is now the go-to for every game, not just the playoffs.
It's the death of the tie.
The Steelers are a dynasty. How about 16-game seasons? More money, more good. Huh? I don't know, but I get random headaches now that I'm done playing football. Another rival league. This one actually stole some good players from us, then tried to sue us, and won the lawsuit for a total of $3, then quickly folded. Love the NFL, but not good enough to make it there yourself? Now you can have a fantasy team of players earning make-believe points for you. Then the 49ers are a dynasty. A guy named after some state is probably the best player ever, even though his teammate literally invented the word GOAT. The league really likes passing. They changed the rules to make it harder for defense and easier for offense. Doubt that'll ever happen again. Now the Cowboys are a dynasty. 2-point conversions are a thing now, too. Wait, the sport where men hit each other full speed might be bad for your head? We might have to start caring about player safety. Football is the most popular sport in America, and it's not close. A third of the country watches every Super Bowl now. The Patriots just drafted this scrawny kid at the end of the 6th round. Bet that amounts to nothing. And now the Patriots are a dynasty. And now that kid's the GOAT. Now some new guy might be doing it with a new team, but then it'll just end and someone else will come. Does any of it really matter? Some people think the league is soft. Some want 82-game seasons. Some players are really fast. Some players are really strong. Most players are a skin color that used to be banned from the league, but they're all really rich. Basketball might pass us one day, though. Oh god, teams are just shoving up the middle again. We've come full circle. Wait, college athletes can get paid now? And be 26 years old? Wasn't that why we started? Why are we still here?